Hello. Hi. Hi. Well, you can't really see me. But this is the lecture video for calculus, and today we're going to talk about something very interesting. So here we go. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. Okay. So we need to, well, two things we're going to talk about today. Today is going to talk about derivative of sine and cosine. Instead of just telling you guys memorize it, I just thought it would probably be a better idea to teach guys the reason behind it. Okay, so you don't have to just memorize the answer. So let's get started to it. Oh, second thing, sorry. Second thing is derivative of product rule. So using product rule, whenever we take in derivative, what happens when two functions are multiplying each other? Okay, so we use product rule to help us find the derivative. Okay, so let's get to it. Derivative of sine and cosine are very interesting because remember sine, well, this one is a sine graph right now, and the bottom one right here is a cosine graph. Okay, and in order to find the derivative of a sine graph, as we see right here on the right hand side, we have to kind of talk about cosine graph as well. But before we talk about cosine graph, let's just focus on this graph we have right now. The table right here basically asks you to find out the slope of sine, and whenever since right here we have this sine graph right here, we can find out different points. For example, when x equals negative pi, what will be the slope of sine? Well, it's gonna be somewhere around -1. Actually, it's gonna be precisely -1. Oh, purple. I didn't want purple, but anyway, -1. Okay. How about when negative pi of 2? Well, negative pi of 2, sine would actually have a 0 slope. At 0, sine would have a positive 1 slope. At pi over 2, sine would actually have a 0 slope. And at pi, sine will have a negative slope. And if you kind of want to focus on this, you can kind of think about pi is around here. Okay, that's pi. That's pi over 2. This is 0, so going up. This is negative pi over 2. And then this one would be negative pi. So those are the 5 points. Okay, if you want me to label like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And corresponding to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. Okay, and as you can see, it's negative 0 and 1, 0 and -1 basically. Okay, and coincidentally, cosine value, the graph of cosine, actually shows exactly that. Okay, if we look at the cosine graph, it's just like, oh, my apology, just like -1 and negative pi, 0, negative pi over 2, 1, 0, and -1. Okay, and just from this table and just from this relationship of x and y, the slope of sine happen to have exactly the same value of cosine graph. So, another word, when we look at, now we're looking on the right hand side, when we're looking at derivative of sine, we can actually say it is going to be cosine, just because the slope of sine graph would actually have cosine's value. So this is going to be the reason. Another way, you can also memorize this. I don't recommend it, but I just want you guys to know where it came from. Okay. Second thing that we need to know, move down to the bottom, it's when we take a derivative of cosine, what happened? Okay. Let me actually make it smaller so I can fit two graphs on one. Okay. Whenever we have cosine, it's the same thing. Okay. Cosine, actually, slope of cosine, negative pi, it's around here. And then negative pi over 2, 0, pi over 2, and positive pi. This one will actually give us 0 slope because it's going to be like this. Okay, that means this is going to be 0, that's going to be 0. So 0 and 0. Okay, and then this one is going up, so positive. This one's going down, so negative. Okay, and, well, this is actually not sine because, well, we know sine right here is 0. We know right here is 0. And we know right here is 0. And sine's value, we know right here is -1. And this is 1. But if you think about it, if I multiply the -1 by negative, it will become 1. And the same thing right here, if I multiply the red number 1 by negative, it will become -1. So from that relationship, we can also say, well, it's not going to be sine just yet. Rather, it's going to be negative sine. Negative multiplies sine, and this is going to give us that. Okay, so let me just reiterate real quick. Derivative of sine would be cosine. Derivative of cosine would be negative sine. Okay? Any questions? I hope not. Okay, so now this is basically the question, the second part of our lovely video right here. Oh, my bad.